It's classic, the Yentzen Classic. We're in Texas with Sure Shot game calls. This production process is just as impressive as the duck call sounds. Then we head up the road to Birdstrap Leather Company, where one man handcrafts quality leather goods made for the outdoorsman.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this. Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
I'm excited. Sunrise and song signal a new day.
Today we're in Winnie, America, Winnie, Texas, as we call it.
This morning we're in duck hunting paradise and we're using Sure Shot's Yentzen Classic. And its manufacturing process is just as impressive as its sound. The Yentzen Classic is the first ever double reed duck call, patented back in the 1950s. James Fernandez and George Yentzen founded this company. James Fernandez goes by the nickname Cowboy.
Yeah, he's one in a million.
Duck hunting was a very special thing for me, and I did it because I enjoyed it.
He started hunting at age 12 and mastered the duck's language of love.
So a mallard hen's the one that does all the quacking, and she does it very smooth like. Because when she does, she blinks her eyes just a little bit, just. And when she blinks her eyes, the drakes are coming.
In 1959, Cowboy became the champion of world champion callers with the Yentzen.
You want my good smile or my nasty smile?
Cowboy is the true catalyst of what Sure Shot is. I mean, he won the world championship in 1959.
And it was because of the duck call. It was so good. And boy, when I hit that sweet note for those ducks, it was so good.
The proudest part and the heritage of Sure Shot is the foundation, and that was the invention of the double reed.
Cowboy and his family are still involved, but the business is now run by Charlie Holder. Sure Shot is located in Groves, Texas, and the city is proud to have them here. Who needs billboards when the city gives you a spot on the water tower?
They've been around a long time. It's owned and operated by some people that care about the community.
But what makes this community unique is our small businesses. In places like Sure Shot, we've been in business for 60 years.
And just a few miles down the road sits the manufacturing facility. What was once crafted by hand is now machined here. The top, bottom, and double reed are the main parts of the call. All are produced in-house.
We're the only duck call company in the country that makes our own reeds, and we don't sell them to anybody else, so it's all proprietary.
We're crafting an instrument. Quality black walnut is bought in bulk.
The best walnut, black walnut, comes from up north because the growing seasons are so short with the freezes and you have short summers. Those have the best grains in the call, the best look.
Soft wood also creates a more mellow tone and beautiful coloring. Still to come, Cowboy's grandson will teach us the art of crafting and tuning a call. Plus, a lesson from the legend himself.
You're getting there.
You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Aquarius Home Services, Border View Lodge, FVP, and Husqvarna.
It's music to every duck hunter's ear. There's a lot quacking at Sure Shot Game Calls.
We're located in Groves, Texas. We're on the Gulf Coast.
The production process begins with black walnut. So this is Curtis, and he is Cowboy's grandson and also the production manager around here. And he's gonna show us how we turn these pieces of walnut into the call. First of all, we're gonna do the bottom, and then after we do the bottom, you're gonna do almost that exact same process, right, with the top?
Right. The bottom is the part that you house the guts, and it holds all the guts for the call, the tone board, the reeds, the wedge, and you hold that part in your hand, and then the mouthpiece, or the top, goes on to that, and that's the part you actually blow into.
First, the chop saw cuts the wood into 2x2 blocks.
After we cut it, we have to bore the hole through here. You're taking the wood, you slide it in from the face, and then you take your brush and you hold it in place just until the pneumatic piston comes down and holds it.
This thing is scary. I don't know if I'm ready for this. Okay.
That's where all your guts go in.
This is where the guts
Yep.
go in. So this will be where the guts go in the call. Look at all that. Looking good. Woo! Oh! I got so blown away by the smoke,
Right,
I forgot
yeah.
to take it out. Some of these machines date back to the 1920s. This lathe was modified specifically for this call. Watch the blades transform the block into the bottom. Now they're shaped. You can see a few rough edges though, so it's time to sand.
And the sander is like a revolver and a gun. It just grabs it and it rotates around.
There are different grits of sandpaper that smooth the shape. The drill press then rounds the edges of the bottom. As we work, you'll notice little reminders throughout the shop of the good old days. Old calls, and even old production numbers written on the wall by Cowboy himself.
So we used to write every time we would run a call or a part. We would write the quantity and the year on the wall.
It's like when you're a little kid and your mom measures you on the wall and just writes you're this high, now look at the growth for next year. Except it's growth of duck calls instead. These calls are going to spend a lot of time outdoors, so the wood needs to be sealed.
And we're actually going to dip these calls all in a polyurethane, so it seals the inside of that wood and seals the outside of that wood.
After they dry, the excess polyurethane is sanded off. Look at the detail this brings out.
We got to cut an angle on the back of that call so that your reeds and your tone board and your peg will all fit in there. So once we cut the angle on the bandsaw, then we're ready for the final coat.
The final coat waterproofs the call. Time to let these calls dry. When we come back, we assemble and tune. Plus, we head out for a little late season hunt. You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Central Boiler, Summit Beer, Ice Castle Fish Houses, Smoky Hills Outdoors Store, and Magnum Research.
Welcome back to Sure Shot Game Calls in Groves, Texas. The Yentzen Classic is the first ever double reed duck call. We just watched Curtis craft the bottom of the call. The top is the same process. So the final two steps of the process are assembly and tuning. And Curtis, we finally have our hands on the double reed.
This is the magic. This is the one part of the whole process that we keep a secret. So the first thing we do once we're ready to do this is we have our call body, the top and the bottom.
We did a nice job.
Yeah, we did.
Huh?
We did great. We grab our tone board and we're going to slide that into the bottom. We'll get our wedge and we're going to take this edge off here and we're just going to round it off just with a few drags across our sandpaper. And then once we have that the wedge ready and the reed ready, we just put it in the call, put the wedge in, position the reed to a neutral position, and then we'll set that wedge with our thumb, and then we'll try it in the call just to see if it sounds anywhere close to what we want. See, now that one sounds great. And then this one would be, we'll put the label on it.
And then it's ready for shipping. And Lindsay, these are just like a musical instrument. You know, you have to tune a guitar. You have to tune any instrument, no matter what it is. And that's what this is. I mean, you're making an acoustic sound.
See, that's like perfect right there. We're shooting for that neutral, perfect sound. And the bad ones stand out like a sore thumb to us, but it comes over time, like when you're being taught by the people that were before you.
I couldn't head out on a hunt without learning a duck's language of love from the legend himself, James Cowboy Fernandez. I want you to teach me everything I need to know, because I'm a beginner.
Say the word hoot.
Hoot.
Yeah, hoot. No, it's hoot.
Hoot.
Yeah, very good.
Hoot.
Now in the call,
Okay.
you do that and you blow air through. That is one pitiful duck call. Yeah, blow harder. Harder. No, don't.
Don't do that.
Now you went.
That's
You're gonna do it this way.
Ducka.
Tugga, tugga, tugga. Now the lonesome hen is like this. That's beautiful.
Is it?
Duck.
Oh, I did it good?
Uh-huh.
Okay, I got that down. I got the lonesome hen down.
You did.
Yeah. So my goal for this hunt is to sound lonesome and attract all of the men, I mean mallards.
Now do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that, do that. We wake up early to get this prime spot in Winnie, Texas.
So we had Captain Anthony Buscemi today with Black Dog Adventures. I've known Anthony for years, and he's a great guide, fishing guide, a hunting guide.
Literally having the right calls is the most important thing when it comes to duck hunting. If you don't have the right call, you better not even come out here.
We already got a little action. We just had 3 come in. Late season is tough. The birds know the drill, which means extra work for Charlie. It's fun to see him in his element. We blame the late season and the cameras today. Only a few shots and 1 bird, but still a great hunt. I think I need to go home and practice some more. But it was still fun to see the Yentzen Classic and how it's made for the outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Aquarius Home Services, Border View Lodge, FVP, and Husqvarna.
If you're passionate about perfection, there's a good chance you spend a little time out on the range, and you might have used one of these. This shell bag is by Bird Strap. Let's see how it's made for the outdoors.
We are at Bird Strap Leather Company in Winnie, Texas. Today we will build a single pouch shell bag that's primarily used for competitive clay target shooting to hold your shells on your belt.
And Anthony Vaughn is the lone leather maker here at Bird Strap, and you have quite the assortment of products, don't you?
Well, thank you. Welcome to the shop, and we do. We have some shell pouches here, a double one here, another one here in the process.
Anthony is self-taught. Up until college, this Texan was a competing cowboy. This is where his fascination with leather started.
It's about doing something, you know, with my hands, and at the end, having a product that you can be proud of.
Every bag is handcrafted.
The quality of leather is first and foremost. You can't build a good product without good leather.
Our bag will use cow with an accent of ostrich.
So we lay the hides up on our clicker. Okay. We get our dies that are made to our patterns, and we lay it up there and we press them out. And go ahead. Do that one more time. Okay. All right. Next, what we'll do is we'll skive the edges of these parts. Just thin the edge of the part so it makes for a better fold.
Next, Anthony sharpens his tool to cut the excess leather away and puts an eyelid in the bottom of the gusset so water can drain from the bag. The hot stamp machine stamps the logo into the yoke. Okay, so this is the leather glue.
So after we cut the patterns, we will assemble them with a glue and sew process.
Back and forth, Anthony glues, then sews.
So the most crucial part to making the bag is the alignment of putting the parts together. If it's not put together properly and aligned properly, you'll have a twisted bag. It won't sit square. I touch every part of every bag. Even in the event that I have somebody else working on that bag, I'm still touching that bag and taking care of different parts of that process.
The final step is installing the rivets and the eyelets.
That's it. Completed bag. I want somebody to know when they hear a bird strap that it's quality, it's nostalgia, it's well made with materials from the U.S., made in the U.S. My product is made for the outdoors.
It's been a long time, you're just as lovely. You never heard that song? What I'm trying to
He's totally recording you.